Video games have been popular since they were introduced to customers in the early 1980s, with such games as Pong, Asteroids, Battlezone, Tetris, Pac-Man, Space Invaders, and Missile Command, to name a few. Video games soon advanced in graphics and complexity with the introduction of games like Donkey Kong and Mario Brothers. These days, gaming seems to have reached new levels of graphic complexity and gameplay.
It's a little rough, don't you think?
There also seems to be a tremendous increase in gaming participants. Just exploring our school classrooms, libraries, halls, or cafeteria expose a staggering number of video games. We wondered what kind of effect this had on the school environment and on students themselves. Once again, the crew broke out the cameras and the microphones, sharpened our editing skills, and set out to explore this question.
There's nothing bad about video games.
I like video games, but I wouldn't say I love them. But I'd rather play a video game than read a book.
Well, when you're bored, you can play them, so it's good, but it's sometimes bad because it can hurt your eyes. You play too much.
What do you think of video games?
I think they're a lot of fun.
Do you think video games are good or bad?
Neither.
Neither?
That's just like asking me, do I think baseball is good or bad, or volleyball is good or bad? It depends on the people. You can take a baseball and throw it at somebody and break their nose. That's bad. But if you take a baseball and play baseball with it, that's good. The same thing with computer games. It depends on the individual.
Video games are good in which entertainment-wise, and bad, you lose time doing homework and other things that are important because you're too distracted.
Hi, Rihanna. What do you think of video games?
They're fun.
Do you think they're bad or good?
Good.
Why?
How good?
Because they're fun. What's a video game if you have to sit there and read or something? I like the killing video games. Those are the best. The violence ones.
Why do you
wrestling.
like violent ones?
Why do you like violent ones?
Because they're fun.
Murder, blood, killing,
It's not
blood.
fun if you just sit around and be a fairy. Like, that's boring.
I think that they can help kids in a lot of ways as long as they're not too violent.
I think video games can be good and bad.
Why?
Well, I think playing video games, like any recreation in moderation, can be a healthy and enjoyable activity for today's young people. But taken to the extreme, video games can be destructive.
Well, I think games are good because, well, it kind of depends because some games are good and some games are bad. It depends on what type of game you're playing.
I think that they can be both good and bad. If they're an academic-based game or something that teaches you skills, then it can be very beneficial. I think it's bad when it becomes an addiction and when you want to push away the rest of life for video games.
In my classroom, they have been bad because I have a couple students who play them all the time, and then they sleep during class. I've had that problem, and I actually just got off the phone with a parent, and she said that the student hasn't been doing his homework because he's been playing too many video games. So that's been a problem in the classroom.
Well, there are some video games that are good, some video games that are educational, but for the most part, I think the way some students use video games, I think they're bad because they spend most of their time playing it.
We conducted a random survey of Akikarosi students. The participants in the survey consisted of 131 boys and 107 girls in grades 6 through 8, and all between the ages of 10 and 14. Over 34% of boys claimed they played video games over 8 hours per week, compared to only 14% of girls. About 1 out of every 3 students spend more than 8 hours per week playing video games, for a whopping combined playing time of 488 hours. That's 20 days worth of playing.